Hey everybody, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on this video. I appreciate it. And this is the second video that I promised you guys. And it's the night of my surgery. I came in and did a previous video about my surgery and explained why I'm able to do this video. Also, before I get started, I want y'all to know I'm just talking completely off the cuff. I'm just looking at something that I read on the internet, and I'm just coming to you right after reading it. And also one other thing, because I've had a lot of anesthesia today, if I get a little tongue-tied or it seems like I'm mixing words up, I'm still a little loopy because I'm filming this video at 4:05 a.m. And the last video that I just recorded was at 1:45 a.m. And what has happened in these 3 hours is, after I recorded and uploaded that video, I was like, you know what, Rachel hungry. So y'all, I take my loopy ass down in the kitchen, and when I got down in the kitchen, I guess these pain medicine, and y'all see I'm all giggly, I guess this pain medicine that they got me on, the prescription, y'all, when I went in the kitchen, it felt like I was levitating off the floor. Child, I gotta take my black ass to bed. This ain't the night for this bullshit. But I take my ass down in the kitchen because, and I'm gonna get to my video, this one might be a little longer, but I take my ass down in the kitchen, and let me tell you what I did. Before I had my surgery this time, I cooked up quite a few meals to last me, because like I said in my last video, family ain't everything, so I had to make sure that my chubby ass had food to cook. So I had made me a pasta salad, I made tuna salad, I made a big pot of stew. What all else did I make? I made me some these sandwich roll-ups that I like. You know how you use the tortilla bread, the spinach one, and I can't think what the orange one is. So tonight, y'all, we just gonna call it the orange one because y'all know I'm on pain meds. So I kind of feeling good tonight. And another thing, I don't drink, so I haven't drank in years. So to be on all these different medications, y'all, when I tell y'all my head is buzzing and I feel like I've been out partying, so excuse me. But yeah, what I did is I went down the kitchen, I made me a tuna sandwich, and ate some fruit and stuff to get some food in me, drank me some tea. And if you've watched any of my videos, I think I said it before that I only really drink tea or lemonade. I'm not a big soda person. Every once in a while you'll see me drink a pop, but normally all I drink is tea, iced tea, and lemonade. So I sat in the kitchen for a while so it wouldn't feel like when I was walking across my kitchen and back through my living room and up the stairs that I was floating, because that shit kind of tripped me out. When I got in the kitchen, I was walking, I was like, whoa, Jesus, am I up off the goddamn floor? I was looking around the kitchen. I was like, no, you crazy bitch, you on the floor. You just feeling kind of good with all this medication in you, y'all. That's why these folk become prescription drug addicts. And y'all, I feel like my lips is twisted and everything. But so again, when I do the topic that I came in to talk about, if I get a little tongue tied, bear with me. If I mix up my words, bear with me. I wanted to give y'all an explanation for why that's happening. So when I came home from my surgery, I went in my little room that I always talk about, that I got together here in my house for. It's like an upstairs den, because y'all know I got fucking knee problems too. So I made me a den upstairs. And I was rocking in my little rocking chair, and my son was laying on the floor, and we were watching television. And what comes on but this damn press conference that Donald Trump did? So y'all know this man by now is a goddamn fucking blithering idiot. He is crazy. They think he has some type of mental issues. We all know that he's narcissistic. He believes he's the king of the United States instead of the president of the United States. We also know that quite a few people in his administration are crooks or tied to Russia, billionaires, and racist, blatant racists, and let's see, very, he has people in his administration or that work for him that remind me of the Nazi youth. And these were the youth that Hitler sent out to spew propaganda, basically to get the Germans, in line with what he wanted to do to the Jews. And the guy that came on last Sunday, the one that looked weird and like he had not seen sun in about 50 years and had those dead eyes and looked like one of the children of the corn, he reminds me of the Nazi youth. So today, from what I understand, is, Donald Trump didn't want to do a press conference because, some of his shit starting to unravel and he didn't know how to address it. So he's been kind of backing off press conferences these last few months. Now, I told y'all before in a previous video, when I do Donald Trump, we got to do it in a way that Black people do it. So I call it sprinkling my Black girl magic on it. So tonight, I just want to hit on some of the points that Donald Trump talked about that further let me know we in trouble, y'all. This motherfucker is a Looney Tune. And y'all, I think I'm going to be able to talk really freely tonight with these payments in me, and I'm gonna pause y'all for a little bit because I realized my lips is a little dry. Y'all gonna be tripping when you hear this video. My lips just dried out, so let me pause y'all and go moisturize my lips and guzzle down a little bit more of my tea, and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I had to pause for the cause. So now that my lips are moisturized and I've guzzled down damn near a liter of iced tea, I'm back to talk about this damn Donald Trump press conference that he did today. So y'all, I'm going to say again, and this is because I got some comments and I'll tell you about those comments. I'm going to say again, I'm just an average American sitting here watching the news and coming in and giving my spin on what I see going on with Donald Trump. I am no political expert by no means. So for that person that said that my saying that I was sprinkling Black girl magic on it was coonish and showed my ignorance, fuck you. This is just a woman watching the news and trying to get an understanding of it with my intelligence level. And for the record, I went to college, okay? I have, a good life, and I'm not ignorant, or nor do I live in the ghetto or any of that. So getting back to the issue at hand, y'all. Sometimes you just gotta put a motherfucker in his place, because some of these comments that people be making, you try to ignore them, but some of them be a little bit much, and you gotta address them. And especially when I'm gonna keep doing it with my Black girl magic. And what I mean by Black girl magic, you know how it's a certain way that Black people talk to each other. Like, we'll see something going on television and we'll all get together and we'll discuss it in our little way. We make jokes about it. It could be a serious subject, but we can always find the humor in it or tell it in a way that's interesting to us. Fuck the rest of the world. The majority of my audience is Black, and I'm going to talk to y'all like I would talk to my friends that are guys. I would talk to y'all like I would talk to my girlfriends, because if you're a YouTuber and you come on here and you be fake, people see through it. So what I learned on here is I'm just going to be myself. Sometimes we come on here, we try to seem so prepared, but I find that I'm funnier and I feel more comfortable when I'm being myself. Also, too, when I first started doing YouTube, I was on screen a lot more. And I discovered, I don't know why, y'all, but I actually feel more comfortable being off screen. Now, not to say that I'm not going to come on screen, because this talking to myself is kind of weird, y'all, because basically we sitting in front of a camera and we're just talking. So, sometimes I'm going to come on, but I actually get more views. I notice when I'm off screen. And then when I come back on screen, people will be like, oh, it's nice to see you. So because it makes me speak better and more freely, because I'm really shy in person, to be honest. I know I don't come off that way, but I'm very shy in person. So because this feels more comfortable for me, I prefer to do it this way. But again, you will see me on screen, because some things, I want to come on screen and, so y'all can see my face and remember what I look like. So, talking about Donald Trump, y'all. So this bastard, he's a simple son of a bitch. He comes on because he wants to do a press concert. He want to get some, not a, y'all, did I just say press concert? I meant press conference. My lips is twisted. And some of the shit that he was sitting here saying. Now, y'all, I already told y'all I have a twisted sense of humor. And by twisted, I mean I like to laugh. And I have already told y'all in previous videos that if this wasn't happening to our country, this shit is like a soap opera that I watch every day, because every day with Donald Trump is something, and this shit is, some of it is actually funny. So he comes on, and one of the things that the reporters asked him is about him saying that all the media is fake news. So they said that he talked about the leaks that are coming out the White House, because what's happening now is it's people that are on his staff that maybe have been leftovers from Obama or people that he's hired. They are talking to the press and leaking shit out. And they also believe that the CIA, the FBI, and all those agencies, because Donald Trump talked about them so badly when he was campaigning, that now they're kind of getting him back by leaking out some of the stuff that they know about him and the people that are in his administration. So here was the question. One of the reporters had asked him, you know, that, about the leaks. So if Trump says that the leaks coming out of the White House are real, because evidently he knows that the stuff that is leaking is true, but the news reports on it are fake. So the press people were asking him, how is our reporting fake if we're just reporting on the leaks that are coming out your White House, you idiot orange buffoon? Now they didn't say that, but that's me. uh, you know, paraphrasing in my way. And also, y'all, you remember when he was running and he was talking about Wiki Leaks and they was leaking all that shit out about Hillary? It was fine when they was leaking it out. He said it's wrong in his behalf because it's illegal. Well, the shit that they were leaking out about Hillary, was that not illegal? He's so contradictory and such a liar, y'all. He gets on my fucking nerves. And then another thing. Now, y'all know this man is still talking about his crowd sizes and the amount of electoral college votes that he got. He said that he got the most electoral college votes than any other candidate running. I guess the amount he had over Hillary. And so this one reporter stood up, y'all, and quoted. He was like, now, Barack Obama had 336, or however many Barack Obama had. The amount, I don't know the exact numbers. And they said George W. Bush had 400 and something. 400 and something. Donald Trump only had 306, and I think Hillary had like 230 or 240 something. She was not that much lower than him, and we all know that she won 3 mil more of the popular vote than what he did. So shut the fuck up with that. I'm so tired of hearing him talk about this 306. 306. That's all he talks about. And then I think it bothers him that Barack Obama actually had more than him, because when the reporter went to say the number that Barack Obama had, and I wish I had that number, y'all. Trump cut him off. Tried to cut him off in mid-sentence, but the reporter just ignored him and kept saying the numbers. And I'm glad that reporter did that. Let that motherfucker know. And then again, yeah, he's fine with all these Wiki Leaks leaks that come out about other people, but when his fucking cabinet administration, CIA, FBI, all leaking shit against him, he got a problem. That is such hypocrisy, y'all. And another thing that tripped me out, you know, all these people that are coming out protesting weekly about things that, you know, are very important to them, the immigrants and the women's march and just all these people, the town halls. Trump says that all the people that are showing up to like town hall meetings talking about, you know, their health care, don't repeal Obamacare, are all Democrats. That they are people that didn't vote for him anyway, so he not basically concerned about what, you know, what their issues are or what they're complaining about. He said he doesn't even take it under consideration, and they don't represent the Americans. Y'all, it is like this man is living in an alternative universe that he created for himself. He's so out of touch. Another thing before I move on, he mentioned again about the inner cities. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I'm so fucking tired of him talking about black people who live in the inner city. Okay, y'all, let me tell you my living situation. I live in the inner city, but I live on the very cusp of one of our good suburbs here. When you begin the beginning of my street, it's one city, which is the inner city. And then there's a school on my street. And then when you get past the school, everybody who lives before the school lives in the city, you know, the inner city. And everybody who lives after the school actually lives in the suburbs. So I could literally go for a walk and be at the school in 5 minutes. So pretty much I live like the school separates me from the suburbs. So that's just, so the point I was trying to make is, hell, I live in the inner city. I work every day. It's not crime written over here. We got all different kind of people living. We have Mexicans, we have whites, we have Asian, we have black, we have just all kind. We are a melting pot. People from Africa, people from all over the world. It's all kind of kids that go to this school that is separates me from the suburbs. So the message to Donald Trump is not only black people that live in in the inner cities. White people live in the inner cities too. They get on my nerves with that bullshit. Ain't y'all tired of hearing that? If he say that shit one more time. But let me see what else I wanted to talk. Oh, this bromance that this bitch got with Putin. And what it is Donald Trump, y'all. I don't care what's going on now, what he's saying. We are eventually going to find out what is going on with him and Putin, because it is something that is deep. It is something that is sinister, and it might not come out during his election. I mean, I'm sorry. I told y'all I'm a little loopy. What I'm trying to say is it might not all come out while he's president. We might get, just say if it's 100%, just say we're going to get 40% of it before I think he's impeached. And then by the time that all these different intelligence agencies do their work, we might get the other 60%. And then, throughout the time after his presidency, more and more come out and become clear. But there is something sinister with him and Putin. And I don't think that it's that he has businesses over there. I don't think that he tried to do any type of dealings with business dealings with Putin. And here's why I say that. His son made a comment a few months back that the Trump business has a lot of Russian money pouring into it. So I think what it is Donald Trump may have been like partners with some people over in Russia, and he got into something a little bit deeper than what he intended. And because they have found a fool here in America, I believe that he let them see him involved in some shit or doing some shit that he thought that they were his friends because, you know, he's flattered because they saw him out. And in the meantime, they're collecting, you know, some blackmail shit to hit him with later. And the reason why I say that, y'all, is because the more I find out about Putin, I believe he had ulterior motives, and Russia has ulterior motives for befriending Trump. They said that Trump has actually had dealings with Putin, and not Putin per se, but Russia for quite a few years now, and that was surprising to me. Even before he ran for president, even before, you remember, y'all, when he was at President Obama's White House dinner or something where the comedians all are there and the president is telling jokes about himself, and he kind of blasted Donald Trump and basically told him, I'm president and you working at the you know, the apprentice, and that's what your job is. I think it was even before that um, Donald Trump had some type of dealings with Russia. Now, I don't know what it is, and it could not even be that, but something about this tells me that Donald Trump got in bed with some of those Russian businessmen, and they all got together and they are blackmailing him. Something is not right, and it's sinister. That's all I wanted to say about that. I've been thinking about that a little bit, y'all, and I'm trying to figure out, you know, like what Russia really has on him. And y'all, as I'm sitting here talking, one of my fingers have come to life. So who, y'all? I feel like Cinderella at the ball. I better get this video done because I don't want the rest of the 4 or the other 3 in my thumb to come to life and then I don't be able to move, because I actually feel I can move this one. Another thing, remember when I told y'all in my other video that my fingers are numb? I'm also, you know, they told me that don't be surprised because, well, don't be alarmed because I might not be able to move some of my fingers. Well, I couldn't move it, and one of the fingers I couldn't move was my baby finger. And as we're sitting here now, I'm actually wiggling it. It's actually moving. My other fingers are still stiff. So let me go on, because Cinderella only got to 12 o'clock, y'all, so I got to keep moving. So, you know, he said that he don't got no problem dealing with, he want a relationship with, Putin. I'm going to say this and I'm going to move off this subject right here. Donald Trump might want to be careful fucking with Putin, because every person that eventually ends up being Putin's enemy is killed. You know, Putin is really good for poisoning motherfuckers. And he'll send his henchmen for Donald Trump if Donald Trump crosses him. Another thing that I saw at this fucking press conference that he did is this Jewish guy stood up, and he's a Jewish reporter, and he, you know, was really concerned about the rash of violence that is starting to be directed at the Jewish community. You know, they're getting calls at their synagogues, their neighborhood centers about people threatening to bomb them. You know, there are Jewish people out here that are being beat, and this anti-Semitism is starting to become really rampant in the United States, and that really harkens back to, you know, Hitler's regime. You know, we kind of, all jokes aside, y'all, we kind of, you know, say that, you know, he's kind of Hitler-like, Donald Trump is. Some of the things that he seems to believe, and, you know, he has an air of being a racist, maybe an undercover one, you know, when he was doing Apprentice, because honestly, y'all, I didn't know Donald Trump was this bad, but a lot of his shit is coming out, and, you know, he's closely linked to those alt-right people and those white supremacists, and he just doesn't have a good, you know, aura about him. But anyway, this Jewish guy stood up and was telling him all this. And Donald Trump, to show you that he's so thin-skinned and he thought the guy was attacking him, the guy was asking a question, but Donald Trump's response was, of all the people in the world, he is the least likely to be racist. He is the least likely to be anti-Semitic. And I might be getting my words twisted. That was not the answer that he should have given. In that moment, this man was very visibly worried about his Jewish community, and he needed assurances that the president was with him, against racism and, yeah, y'all, I can't talk tonight, I'm sorry, anti-Semitic thinking. And the correct response would have been something like, I don't condone any type of racism. If he just said those words, and he should have just ended with, the Jewish community knows that they have a friend in this president, and left it alone. And he told the man to sit the fuck down. Now, he didn't cuss, y'all, but when the guy tried to add another part to his question, he was like, see, I told you. He didn't want to answer a simple question. He wanted more. That lets you see how the media is. You know what, bitch? You wanted the job of president. That comes with a lot. And one of the things it's coming with is being able to stand behind a podium and answer the questions that people want answers to. And also, something that Donald Trump doesn't realize, he serves at the pleasure of us. He works for us. He's a public servant. Now, albeit all granted, he is the highest public servant, by him being the president, and he is, one of the most powerful men in the world now. But never forget, you serve at the pleasure of the American people, which means, bitch, stand there and answer the questions and answer to some of these suspicions people have about you before your orange ass is impeached. And that's all I want to say about that, y'all. I feel like Forrest Gump. That's all I got to say about that. So the next one that I wanted to talk about is, okay, y'all know I did a video. Oh, I don't want to do that one yet. I had a couple topics. I wanted to say that. Oh, that is last. That's all I had to say, I guess. So y'all know that that black reporter that I had told you about, they call her a veteran White House correspondent. Her name is April Ryan. And before I tell y'all what Donald Trump did to her, I wanted to ask y'all a question. Because after I did that video about April Ryan, I got some negative comments about her. People were disparaging her character. I did the video about her and Omarosa physically threatening April Ryan. And then some of the comments that I got back said that Omarosa should have whooped April Ryan's ass because she is all, it's just some weird comments. So what I wanted to ask y'all before I finish is, do y'all know anything about this little chubby reporter, April Ryan, that she's done against the black community or something? Because I don't watch the news like I'm doing now. I've never watched it this much. But, what's making me watch now is all this crazy shit with Donald Trump. So I don't know April Ryan's history. I only see her when there's really something, really big going on at the White House, and I always notice that she's in the audience. Now, all the times that I've seen her, she's always spoken up for the black community. I've never seen April Ryan Conan. But again, I didn't watch the news a lot before Barack Obama came in, and, now that Donald Trump is in. So if y'all know anything in her history that is negative towards our community, or that she's done something wrong, let me know, because I didn't understand why people were saying that Omarosa should have whooped her ass when we all can't stand Omarosa. And I thought April Ryan should put down her damn mic and her fucking pad, little pads that reporters had, and whooped Omarosa's ass. But that's that. So what I wanted to say about what happened to April Ryan with Donald Trump, and if y'all hear a lot of clanging and stuff, I'm laying in my bed and I have my laptop in my bed with me. So I got, my blankets, my gown, and all that stuff is clanging up against it, and I hear it. And I don't know how to edit all that shit out, y'all. So we gonna hear all the clanging and banging. So anyway, April Ryan stood up and, she was talking about, You know, when she asked him a question about his promise to address the issues of the black community, y'all know he ain't doing that. I don't know why she keep on asking him that. Now that part I was thinking, girl, sit down. He ain't thinking about us. But anyway, then she asked him about meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus. She called it the CBC first. Y'all, he didn't even know what she was talking about. She had to tell him what the letter stood for. That shows you he don't even know that she is a veteran reporter. And so they were going back and forth, and he said that, you know, that he would be willing to meet with them, that he actually has set up a meeting with them, but his office, intentions to set up a meeting with them, and his office kept on calling the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, and said that they never got a call back to actually set up the meeting, and then he goes on and on. We kept calling and calling and calling. Well, side note, Elijah Cummings, I think he's a senator, said that never happened. Donald Trump is lying. That if a president, any president, will call their office and request a meeting, they would not turn it down. They would go meet with the president, because even though they may like him, he is our president. And, you know, they need to leave an open avenue with them. So you could tell he was getting mad at April Ryan, you know, because she kept pushing him about, you know, the issues of the black community. And, you know, he went through that long thing about how we living in poverty and blah, blah, blah. I don't even want to repeat it. So he told her, so she was like, well, you know, just call them, get with them, and blah, blah, blah. So he was like, what, are they your friends? Why don't you call them and set up the meeting, and then I'll go. Like she worked for him something, or like just because she was black, which Abel Ryan, you know, she looked at him kind of funny, and she was like, well, I know some of them, but I'm a reporter. I'm not and she used the word, I couldn't hear what she said, and it sounded like, I don't know what it sounded like, but in other words, she was telling him, I'm not your secretary setting up your meetings. If you want to meet with them, you go meet them. You know, go set up your own damn meeting. Y'all, I just want to say this about Donald Trump, and then I'm going to get on out of here, because I do feel my second finger starting to wake up. So it's 4:40 now. So they did good, because it lasted from 7 o'clock yesterday morning, and it's 4:40, almost a whole 24 hours. But anyway, y'all, we got a long 4 years with Donald Trump. And I guess we are going to have something every day with him. And I just come on because I want us to pay attention. And, you know, this shit is funny on one hand. Like I said, if it wouldn't happen to our country, some of the things Trump says are funny. But it ain't too funny, because it's us that he acting a fool with. But I want y'all to pay attention, because, like I said, we're living in the middle of history right now. And if you're like my age, and you know, you're going to have grandkids. Now, a lot of my friends my age have grandkids. I don't. My son is 30. My daughter's 22. I'm 52. I don't have any grandkids. Well, my son is not actually 30. He's 29, and I'm 52. My daughter is 22. But one day, all this stuff that's happening now, I'm starting to wind down. Y'all could tell. We're going to be telling our grandkids, so we got to pay attention, because I remember when my grandmother and grandfather were telling me stuff that happened when they were younger, and, you know, the different presidents, and why we have things that we have now. They were very clear. They could answer any question that I had about whatever they were telling me about, and it helped shape me. It helped me have interest in things that I learned from my grandparents. And it helped clear up some things that I had read in my history book, that I would ask my grandparents, you know, well, they said this happened when you were younger. My grandmother or grandfather would tell me the real deal, because they actually lived through it. So what I'm saying is, we're living through this, and one day we're going to have to repeat this history to our grandkids, and we want to get it right. Because this man that we have in the White House now, y'all, we all say that he gonna get us in some shit. But he also is And I don't want to use ghetto ties in the White House. I want to use trailer park in the White House. He is turning the White House into a laughing stock. Everything that he does that they say, oh, we're glad that he's not the traditional president. Is a such thing as being non-traditional but still upholding the office of the presidency and giving it the respect that it deserves. You know, they talked all that shit about Barack Obama, and I know it's a whole bunch of you people on here that don't like him. And you know what? I don't care. Today I'm hopped up on prescription drugs, and I'm going to tell y'all how I really feel about y'all. For y'all black people out there who are constantly talking, they constantly talked about Barack Obama in a negative way. I'm not even going to say anything bad to y'all, but what I'm going to say is he was the first. He was not Jesus, where he was going to come in and correct the ills of the black community. One presidency could not do that for us, y'all. Why don't y'all wake up and get a man a break? So Barack Obama was supposed to come in 8 years, cure what took us 350 years to get in this country. Do y'all think that makes sense? I mean, really? Sometimes, excuse me, when I hear people talk so negatively and all he didn't do for the people of the black community, I want to say it took 350 years or however long we've been in this country to get us to where we are now. And y'all truly believe that one black man being, well, and remember, he's mixed. One biracial kid being in the White House or one biracial man being in the White House was going to, he could have cured everything? That he could have cured 50% of 300, what it took us 350 years to get to? Y'all, the people like y'all scare me too. Y'all do too. Because it's almost like y'all not really stopping to think that all that him, the first day he walked in that White House, what he had on his shoulders. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that everything that Barack Obama did that I agree with, because I worked in the healthcare industry, and there were some things that he did with the Affordable Care Act that I thought could be a little different. There were some military moves that he made because I have family members in the military or people that I love that are serving in the military that kind of scared me. And there were some things that he said that I kind of questioned. So I didn't blindly, love him. But I prayed for him that he made it out of that White House safely. And I prayed that he did the best job that he could do, because that's all we can ask for him. Again, he was not sent here by, the Father in heaven. He wasn't the second coming of Jesus, y'all. He was just a man that got elected and tried to do what I think was the best he could. So now you got Donald Trump. You wouldn't vote for Hillary. Y'all so mad that Bernie didn't make it. Sometimes I be want to say, okay, people face reality. Bernie not in. So now, okay, Bernie's out. Let's get that out of our system. So now we got 2 other people. Choose wisely. Because what you're choosing could not only affect you, it could affect generations of your family members that are going to come after you. And now look what we got. We got an orange Kool-Aid face baboon in the White House that's fucking up and wreaking havoc, wandering around the White House in his bathrobe. I did a video on that, and I know y'all probably thought I was joking, but those are some of the leaks that are coming out of the White House. They said this man wanders through the White House at night with his bathrobe on, trying to open doors and figure out how to turn on motherfucking lights. And with that, y'all, I'm out. My second finger is starting to, wake up, and I don't want to be woke when all 5 are live and, in living color. I want to be asleep when that happens. So thank you for, because I know this video wasn't as high energy as the other one, and that's because I'm getting sleepy and my fingers are waking up. But thank y'all for rolling with me, and I appreciate all the well wishes, and you guys have a good morning and a great day, and I will see you in my next video. And again, y'all, I don't know when that's going to be, because the one finger that woke up, Y'all, it's hurting. Now, I don't want to, they only gave me 20 of these payments of one of them that I know is working, and I don't want to run through them because there's no refills on it. You know, with these type of meds, you gotta, you know, I think they, what do they call them? I can't even think now. Lord, I can't think. Y'all know the ones that you gotta go in to see your doctor to get, because they don't just pass these out. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down, get all comfortable, you know, and actually get under my cover now instead of falling asleep on top of the blankets and everything. So I'll get with y'all when I feel better, and pray for me, y'all. And again, I appreciate all the prayers that you already given me. Bye bye now. Have a good day.